hearing to show forth that's what you're dealing with. It's being seen. It's like, don't act like nobody see it, because Most High's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, and revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Believe this. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Uh-oh. What comes out of his mouth? Oh, we can go to Revelation 19 and 15. Let's see what comes out of his mouth. I think that's it. Yeah, there it is. Revelation 19 and 15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword. What are you going to do with this sword? That with this sharp sword, he should smite the nations. He gonna kill the nations. And we're nations that make up one nation. First and foremost, we're 12 nations that make up one nation. The 12 tribes of Israel. But with this sharp sword, he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, which is the law of the Most High. And he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of almighty power. Now, I made a statement. Let me prove it. Since y'all say we ain't under the law, and y'all think that you can do whatever you want to do, and it's okay with the Most High, it's not. Hold on, let me get a pocket for that I can read. Slakia. My old faithful, she's still my old faithful, but some pages, it's really messed up. But I got another one back up. Okay, 2nd Ezra 13 and 37 and 38. And this, when you read 2nd Ezra 13, it's giving you when the Mashiach Shai is coming back. The judge will make war, right? With Revelation 19th chapter, verse 11, say he coming in righteousness, he does judge and make war. It's telling you here what he's going to do, right? Like I say, he gonna burn up the army, the navy, the marines, and air force of all the nations that's going to stop fighting each other and fight and prepare to fight him. That's why they got the space programs and so forth right now. So this is after he tells us, say you're going to be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. Because he's not coming as a man. He's not meeting him as a man. I tell you that in Isaiah 47 and 3. So now in 2nd Ezra 13:37 it says, and this my son. So this is Mashiach Shai. Where? In the volume of the book, right here in the Old Testament. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, all their ordinances that they have, all their military might, nuclear power, everything. And this my son, Mashiach Yahushua, who's coming back, not as a man, but in his angelic power, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. Out of his mouth shall go a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations. So listen, what are you talking about? Verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude, the army, the navy, the marines, the air forces that's coming together to fight him, that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. Remember what it said in Revelation 19 and 15. Don't forget. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it, with this sharp sword, he should smite the nations, right? And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. That's what we're looking for. And he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Here go that sword coming out of his mouth. Once again, 2nd Ezra 13 and 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, that's all the military might of all nations, that's joined together to fight him. They're going to stop fighting and prepare. They're already preparing to fight him. What do you need anti-matter guns? Reagan said that back in the day. He neither lifted up his hand nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. This come out of his mouth. Listen. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth. This is what we just read in Revelation 19 and 15. You gonna tell me the Bible ain't real? And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite or kill the nations, right? But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, 2 Ezra 13 and 10, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden innumerable multitude could not be numbered. Nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. As you're seeing this, Most High showing them this in a vision. Now let's go to 2 Ezra 13 and 37. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, all their nuclear power, whatever they have beyond that, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest that we just read. Ain't gonna be nothing but dust and smell of smoke in the end. And shall lay before him, shall lay before them, these nations that's coming together to fight him, their evil thoughts. Hear that? You're gonna lay before them their evil thoughts and torments, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame. Like he's saying, gonna be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. Then they're gonna be tormented afterward. And he shall destroy them. Like I say, he's gonna rule them with a rod of iron. What's this rod of iron? He shall destroy them without labor by the law. This is a law of the Most High that you say that we ain't under, you pork chop eating preachers. By the law which is like unto fire. Thou shalt not steal. You're gonna be killing people. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Put them to death, y'all. By the law of the Most High. Look at say, without labor, by the law which is like unto fire. You see? So, this is what we're dealing with. End result. That's why, going back to Revelation 3:16, you say, so then, he said, I'd rather be hot or cold. You say, so then, because thou art lukewarm, you said, then because you are lukewarm, you're not really in this like you should be. You can't take instruction. We all had instructions to be able to bring forth what we're bringing forth in these last days. You can't be instructed. You will say fools despise what? Wisdom and instruction. It says, because thou art lukewarm, he said, and neither cold nor hot. You don't want to deal with this at all, or you in it, you motivated, and your motivation can lead you to the kingdom, or are you lazy and unmotivated, a sluggard? Because thou art lukewarm, straddling the fence, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. He said, I'm going to spew you out of my mouth. He just showed you what's coming out of his mouth. Fire and brimstone, we're going to smite the nations. And he's going to get us too. He's going to start with us, with his house. That's why it's very important. Micah 2 and 10. Micah 2 and 10. Micah 2 and 10. He said, arise ye and depart from your sins. But this is not your rest. This ain't our rest, y'all. Because it is polluted. Like I say, y'all got to stop saying brainwashed, because your mind is not washed if you're not keeping the word of the Most High. He said, now you are clean. St. John 15:3, through the word that I speak unto you. That's how we cleaned up. John 17:17, sanctify them through that truth. That word is truth, right? So the truth is what? Psalms 119, 142. Let's sing it together. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So you clean up by following the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how you clean ourselves up. And you're not going to find the law, statutes, and commandments unless you see what? Words. It's very important to see this. It's real simple. It's just a matter of you just taking off this deep spirit. You just make it as simple as possible. This is real simple. It's not hard. It's just a matter of y'all trying to be. See, this world have you all twisted. Why he said, arise ye. Well, your brother saying, Kwam Yasharala. That means rise, Israel. But we ain't rising nowhere till the Most High rise. Because the Mashiach Shai sitting on the right-hand side of the Most High. Most High ain't standing up while he's sitting there on the right side. Most High sitting on his throne. Mashiach Shai on his right side. Right there. And the angels that's holding on this side. And you got Satan and all the rest of the evil, wicked suckers on the left side. You got angels on the right side, angels on the left side. Those that know how to deal with the righteous, those that know how to deal with the wicked. And all the things that's going on and reporting everything that's going on. Putting it in the books against us. Therefore, he said, arise ye and depart. Depart from what? Depart from your sins. Depart from wickedness. Depart from iniquity. For this is not your rest. This ain't our rest. Because it is polluted. And when Esau was told to shut up and get thee in the darkness, he put the people in gross darkness. I can't say it enough. This is where we at. The Most High told us. This is what he's going to do to us as the children of Israel. Ain't nobody else talking about this. Who else could say this? Ain't no rabbi or no Jewish person going to say nothing like this. The things that we could say that come out of this Bible. Bring them forth and say that's them. Or anybody else in your religion. What religion is teaching? The moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws. And teaching you of the sacrificial laws. Which one? Even them. They got the Kabbalah. They got the Talmud. They got all these other things added to what it is that we didn't do. Ain't nowhere in the world you're going to tell me that the Most High said it's okay to circumcise a boy on the 8th day. And they crying about this and suck the blood off of his penis. And give him a venereal disease or what they say, some kind of venereal disease. Herpes, they said. They crying about this. Most I say you ain't supposed to drink the blood. You ain't supposed to taste the blood. You ain't supposed to have no blood at all. That's the life force. Come on now. Y'all better ask somebody. That's why I say arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. This ain't our rest because it is polluted. It's polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sword of destruction. You see? And when you understand, and let's say you see certain things, you know that it's like this because, look, go to Isaiah 47 and 6. Verse 5 is when the Most High told Esau to shut up and get thee in the darkness, okay? Verse 6 says, I was wroth with my people. He was wroth with us because we ain't follow him. We gave him the middle finger. He said, I'm your king. I'm your, but go back to the garden. He said, all you need is me. I'll give you everlasting life. We had everlasting life. How long did we have it? I don't know. But we had everlasting life. He said, you can eat the tree of life and live forever. So he told us, you got everlasting life. Choose ye life. That's why right now it's as simple as we choose life or we choose death. Those are the only two choices you have. You're going to choose life or death. And we went over this death and we went over the life too. With the fear of the Most High, how it's going to bring, like he said last night, he said, I'm going to give you everlasting kindness. We just got to do what's right. You know, if you love the Most High, to anybody that go against what it is, like right now, it's a double Sabbath. The new moon and the Sabbath. You love the Most High, that's his day. He said, not doing your work, don't even think about yourself. Think about, that's why we're in the Word. I'll be in the Word till the sun go down. And I can keep going on and on and on. That's what it's supposed to be about. Because you love this. You can't love the Most High. Oh, I'm tired. Yeah, you go too long. Okay, well, I go too long. You don't love the Most High. Gonna come a time you're gonna better get this. You better have it. Ain't gonna be asking. Ain't nobody asking no questions. Ain't nobody asking no questions. You got no questions now. Better not come up asking no questions then. It's gonna be about instructions. You can't follow instructions. It's gonna be too bad for you because you ain't gonna be knowing. Look, I went through Ezekiel 9:4, but let's look what I did. He said, verse 6 of Isaiah the 47th chapter, I was wroth with my people. And that's from the Most High. That ain't got nothing to do with me. When I did like that, that's from the Most High. As it is written. You want to know? I'll show you. In the scriptures. I was wroth with my people, he said. I have polluted mine inheritance. You hear that? Most High polluted us, the Israelites, and given them into thine hand. Most High say, I polluted mine inheritance by giving us in their hand. And he told us he going to give us to the works of the heathen in Ezekiel 7:24. And in Song of Three Holy Children in the Apocrypha, verse 9, to the most wicked in all the world. He told us he's going to do this. Here we are in it. He said, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Mercy is what? Not give you something you do deserve. Oh, upon the ancient, the older men, older women, hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. So, we was polluted. And one way it was polluted, if y'all might allow me to show you, is go to First Ezra, the 8th chapter, in the Apocrypha, verse 69. This is what it says. First Ezra, the 8th chapter, 69. If you had a Cambridge University Press, the Red Apocrypha is on page 11. First Ezra 8:69. Look what he did. And look what we did. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests and Levites, have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles. Hear that? Nor of the pollutions of the Gentiles. That's how the Most High look at these other nations, say they polluted. And here we are, joining in with them. Nor the pollutions of the Gentiles. He say polluted us by giving us into their hand. To wit of the Canaanites, these are so-called Africans, Hamites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, those so-called Chinese. All these indigenous. Egyptians, most so-called Africans, and Edomites. See? And Edomites. So-called Caucasian people. Indigenous, I might say. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. Moses told us not to do this. He's not with interracial marriages. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity, just like Solomon. Why he split the kingdom from us? Because of what Solomon did and marrying those strange women of these other nations. And they turned his mind away from following the Most High. The Most High came to him twice. He ain't listened in his older age. And as soon as I had heard these things, I rent my clothes and the holy garment and pulled off the hair from off my head and beard and sat me down very heavy. Man. First Ezra 9:7. So Ezra rose up and said unto them, Ye have transgressed the law in marrying strange wives. Hear that? You've broken the laws of the Most High by marrying strange wives outside of the nation of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel. Therefore, to increase the sins of Israel. And now by confessing, give glory unto the Most High power of our fathers, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and do his will. Do his will. What's his will? And separate yourselves from the heathen of the land and from the strange women. Okay. Then cried the whole multitude and said with a loud voice, like as thou hast spoken, so will we do. What did they do? Verse 36. All these had taken strange wives. You go up from here, there's a lot of names mentioned. All these had taken strange wives, and they put them away with their children. Thus said the Bible, thus said our story. So you see, it says in Micah 2 and 10, arise ye, Yasharallah, 12 tribes of Israel, and depart. For this is not your rest. This is not our rest. Because it is polluted. It's polluted. It shall destroy you. Hear what he says, it's going to destroy you. Even with a sore destruction. If you allow this to be your rest. It's going to be the cause of your destruction. That's why this one we're going to have rest, y'all. You want to know when the rest is? It ain't now. It's coming, though. Knocking right at the door. With Isaiah 14 and 1. Book of Isaiah 14 and 1. 3. This one we're going to have rest. For the Most High will have mercy, which is not getting something you do deserve, on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel. That's the 12 tribes of Israel. And set them, the Israelites, in their own land. This is what the Most High going to do. And the strangers, these other nations, outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, shall be joined with them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. They're going to be cleaving to us. It tells you that in, what is that? Let's go to Zephaniah, I believe it's. Let me see, hey guys, Salakia. Salakia. Anyways, they said they're gonna cleave to us. I think it's. Let's try Zechariah. Hold on. Okay, I don't know where it's at. Anyway, so they're gonna be cleaving us today, and they know they're gonna hold on to our skirts, it says, and they're gonna know that the Most High is with us. When all the stuff that we just read go down, let me see if I can find another one. I hate to be stomped like that. Let me see. Get old faithful here. Let's see. Oh, it's Zechariah 8:23. See, I knew it was 8, I just couldn't see it. There it is. It's highlighted too. Look at Zechariah Salakia 8:22. It says, yeah, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Most High of hosts in Jerusalem and to pray before the Most High, right? Thus say the Most High power of hosts. In those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages, because they're coming. These other nations outside the 12 tribes of Israel speak different languages of the nations, these Gentile nations. 10 men gonna come and say, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew. They're gonna be grabbing hold to our fringes, saying, we will go with you, but we have heard that the Most High is with you. Yeah. Future prophecy. So like I want to write that down so I don't fall into this stumbling block again. Well, all praise the Most High. He gave me a means to be able to bring it. The water Most High, about show much I go. Okay, so like I said, going back to Isaiah 14:1, we're here because we're looking at when we go have this rest. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them, the Israelites, in their own land. And a stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. You hear what they're going to say? They know that the Most High is with us. They're going to realize that then. And the people shall take them, we're going to take these other nations, and bring them to their place, where they're going to be at in a righteous kingdom. And the house of Israel shall possess them, these other nations, in the land of the Most High for servants, men slaves, and handmaids, women slaves. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. You hear that? So everybody that oppressed us, and that's oppressing us, going to be ruled over by the Israelites, as it is written. Verse 3. And it shall, once they in captivity, slavery, and bondage, in a righteous kingdom, and it shall come to pass, and they're going to be cleaving to us, like it said, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest. You see that? From what? From thy sorrow. You ain't going to be sorrowful no more. And from thy fear, you ain't going to never fear no more. You're going to never be afraid. You'll never be scared. And from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. You see? It's a hard bondage we was made to serve. All the things we had to go through and going through. Oh yeah, that's when we had rest, y'all. Let's go to Psalm 62:12. That's the good news gospel. Psalm 62:12. That's why it's worth it. To work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Psalm 62:12. Also unto the Most High our power, also unto thee, O Most High, belongeth mercy. You see? Unto the Most High belongeth mercy. Not getting something you do deserve. But thou rendereth to every man according to his work. You hear that? He rendereth to every man according to what you've done in these mortal bodies. So, if we blessed by the Most High to make it to that rest we just read about, hey, that's mercy. Not getting something you do deserve. From the Most High. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 17 and 19. Ecclesiasticus 17 and 19. And I appreciate y'all hanging in there on the Sabbath, especially you all that's on the East Coast and different time zones. But your Sabbath might be over now. But you're still in there. All praise the Most High. The water. Ecclesiasticus 17 and 19. Okay.